Resident Evil 4 Remake released in March 2023, and today I'm unlocking the Platinum Trophy. There are 47 trophies we need to unlock, 4 playthroughs that need to be completed, 1 DLC to beat, treasures to be collected, and Ashley's to be saved. Where is this lady? In our first playthrough we need to complete the game whilst collecting all treasures in each area, find all 16 Clockwork Castellans, and complete all of the merchant's side missions. Fortunately, this is a remake of a game that I have played many times, so this should be easy. No, I saved over it! The game starts as Leon has been tasked with a special mission to find the president's missing daughter, and for some reason her last known location is a weird ass B&B in the middle of nowhere. We venture into a seemingly abandoned house to find some clues of her whereabouts, and come across a very helpful villager that is not at all messed up in any way, shape or form. He's totally fine. From here we travel further into the woods and come across a lovely little village where it appears we're just in time for a lovely barbecue. Unfortunately we're not invited, so we steal their shotgun and decide to tell them how exactly that made us feel, with bullets. Mysteriously a church bell rings and all of the villagers begin to disappear.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
From here we run to another lovely fishing area where we pop our first trophy for deflecting an enemy attack with a knife. Ah! Oh! We then end up in the bottom of a building where we meet Luis.
You got a smoke?
Which is not who we're looking for, and then we are swiftly captured. Leon and Luis then escape the clutches of some weird dude who just decided to put us in his basement chained up. And Hunnigan then tells us that Ashley is in a church, so we pick off some of the locals, meet a lovely tall man named Mendez, and hey, Ada Wong even makes her first appearance of the game. She's not in a dress this time though, she's dressed like combat-y, like she's actually gonna fight. We make it to the church and learn it's locked up, so we need a special device. So we set about finding it and on our way murder a giant mutant fish. Which gets us the Harpoon Hurler trophy. Boom! Leon then decides that now is a perfect time for a little nap. We then solve some weird puzzles, take a break at the shooting range, and fight a super big dude with the help of our puppy best friend, and eventually we end up in the church where we find Ashley.
Easy with that.
Now all we need to do is escape, which is easier said than done. However, here is where we unlock the trophy for preventing Ashley from being kidnapped. Oh, I didn't even, where are you from? Oh, you're there. And we're then forced deeper into the village and eventually Louise saves us. Kind of, realistically just puts us in a building where we have to fight for our frickin' lives. Thanks Louise, again, what are you doing to me, man? We make a stand and from here we run further into this horrifying island where our best friend Mendez is waiting for us. And guess what? He's also a bug person, because everyone on this island is just bug. We fight in a burning barn and eventually win, earning the Grilled Big Cheese trophy. Nice! Ah, yeah, you annoying bug dude, finally. With Mendez dealt with, we have nowhere else to run, so we push forward, eventually landing at some beautiful castle gates, where we find the last village treasure and get the bandit trophy. Now, after a rude welcome to the castle, we decide to blow a hole in the front door, and here is where we meet the castle's owner, Ramon Salazar.
Mr. Kennedy.
And he's so short, like I am a little man, but he's like this big, and he's literally like 4 billion years old. It's such a weird sight. So we're now trapped in this beautiful castle and need to find our way out. Along the way we meet some chained up dude, solve some puzzles, run through a lovely room with a water feature and everything. It's beautiful and no one's trying to kill us at all. Nothing happens in this room that is bad. It's totally safe. And eventually run into Ada Wong, who's totally crushing on Leon. Like it's so goddamn obvious. He is a hunk of a man. From here we fight some knights and start working on getting S rank on all of the shooting range minigames, which is actually such a lovely break. Like I really enjoy this part of the game. We then fix a lovely statue and Leon finds himself trapped, telling Ashley to run.
Run. Now!
We're now on the Ashley part of the game. I love this part. Honestly, this part isn't that bad. We solve some puzzles, get some treasure, and eventually meet back up with Leon and then are swiftly captured by Salazar's Red Guard. So Leon is now back to square one, but continues to push through the castle. We end up in the throne room where Salazar is doing shots with Ashley. And Leon, distraught by this, decides to make a hasty exit. We then find ourselves underground with Salazar's right hand hunting us. Now there is a trophy for killing him, but we're going to work on getting that a little bit later to save us some time here. Moving forward, Leon meets back up with Louise, fights 2 big muscular men, and goes on an epic roller coaster ride together. To be honest, this just sounds like a lovely date. I feel like Leon and Louise make the perfect couple, and this date is beautiful. Here is also where we got the trophy for completing the railcar ride without taking any damage, which actually wasn't that bad to be completely honest with you. Boom! Hope you like thrill rides, that was really fun. As we're escaping the castle undergrounds, Louise is suddenly stabbed, and Leon's old major, Krauser, makes an appearance.
Long time no see, rookie.
It's then revealed that Krauser is the one that took Ashley, and we fight him to the death.
with knives.
Now this fight is completely different from the original. Gone are all the QTEs, and instead is an epic knife battle where I'm just kind of swinging a lot and missing a lot, and I can't work out if one was better than the other, but I don't know, I wasn't very good at either, so. However, after kicking his butt, he runs away, and Louise dies, but not before giving us the key to the laboratory to remove the parasites from Leon and Ashley. I miss you already, Louise. You were like a brother, and the time we had on that roller coaster was epic. We then make our way back up to the castle, collect some treasures that we missed before, collect a golden egg, and head over to the clock tower where we meet Salazar, who is still so short and old and wrinkly and short, and it's just weird. It's just a weird dude. After the clock tower battle, we collect the final treasure for the castle, earning us the Raider trophy. We finally catch up to Salazar and arrive just in time to see Krauser drag Ashley away. Salazar talks too much, and thus he must die.
You talk too much. Failed.
But it turns out he's also a buggy boy, because everyone on this island they're just bug. Everyone is bug. So it's boss battle time, and honestly this fight really isn't that bad. Just pepper him with all your bullets and all of your ammo and everything in his glowy, stupid, ugly face, and you're golden. Honestly, you're fine. During the fight, we now need to throw the golden egg at Salazar to unlock the You Talk Too Much trophy. And once we defeat him, we also unlock the No Thanks Bro trophy. With a little help from Ada, it's now time to head over to the last area of the game, known as the island. The island is heavily armoured and is the most challenging part of RE4, but it's also filled with some awesome action moments. Now eventually we find Ashley locked in a room which requires a special keycard, so he sets about finding it and runs some classic enemies that still give me nightmares, the Regenerators. When I was a kid, they honestly used to scare the life out of me, and they still do. I still have problems with these guys. We avoid them whilst upgrading our keycard and find a special scope that allows us to take them down once and for all. Finally, we reunite with Ashley and make our way to the laboratory to remove the parasites. But before that, we earn the real Deadeye trophy for getting S rank in all shooting range minigames. No way did I just hit that! That was so sick! This might be one of my favourite trophies to unlock in the game, but the last 3 levels were so painful, they took me so long to complete. Making our way to the laboratory, we come across the Amber, which is where the parasites have been harvested from. And we meet the boss of the Buggy Boys, Osmond Sadler. What kind of a name is Osmond? Who it turns out has complete control over Leon and Ashley, as they both have bugs inside them. Sadler then kidnaps Ashley again, and Leon pushes on to save her. But first our old friend Jack Krauser is back, and this time, it's personal, with guns. We fight Krauser, and then he reveals that he has an unhealthy attachment to his knife, so much so that he consumes it into his arm and just has a giant knife arm. Like, it doesn't seem helpful in day-to-day activities, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, we fight Krauser for the final time, beating him and earning the You Used to Be a Good Guy trophy. Now it's time for our final push to save Ashley, but there are a ton of bug boys in our way. Thankfully, this is where we meet the star of Resident Evil 4, Mike, the helicopter man. Now Mike is our new best friend. He's gonna save Ashley, he's gonna save Leon, we're all gonna have a wonderful time, and he's gonna fly us back to safety. He is our new best friend. Yeah, Mike dies, he just explodes, like 10 minutes later. But thanks to Mike, we earn the Jack of All Trades trophy for completing all merchant requests, and find Ashley just before the parasite takes over. And with the help of Ada, we stumble our way to Louise's laboratory and extract the parasites. Now free, it's time for us to make our way off this hellhole, not before grabbing our final trophy on the island, getting us the Burglar trophy. But before we make our escape, we come across a strung up Ada that Sadler has used as bait. Now Leon has had enough, and it's time for the king of bugs to taste some much needed insect repellent in the style of a big ass red rocket launcher. Take that, you big ass big bug boy! With Sadler now dead, Ada tells us that there are bombs all over the island and that we really should be leaving.
Cute.
So we make our way down to the jet ski that Ada left for us. But before we make our escape, we need to collect the last Clockwork Castellone and get the Revolution Wind-Up trophy. And with that, all we need to do is ride our jet ski off into the horizon. So our second playthrough involves completing it again, this time using only knives, handguns, without speaking to the merchant and without healing. Oh, and it also needs to be completed within 8 hours. There's a lot of stuff to remember. Now this sounds really difficult, but as long as you upgraded your chosen handgun and make the primal knife unbreakable before completing your last playthrough, then honestly it's really simple. With that said, I make a ton of mistakes along the way due to just being incredibly stubborn, which makes a lot of the late game fights really difficult. Mainly because I fought Krauser with 0 health and died so many times, and the Sadler fight wasn't easy because he's a giant monster bug man and I have a freaking pistol. Like, how was that gonna go well? But eventually we complete our second playthrough in just under 7 hours and earn the Frugalist, Minimalist and Silent Stranger trophies. Yes, nice. Thank God. Oh. Now before we go on to our third playthrough, it's time for some cleanup. This involves a few things. First, completing 3 mercenary maps with S rank, which is a really easy way to earn us the Magnum. And we need to kill the Vertigo, which is 1 hit with the rocket launcher, which if you ever save at the correct space, it's a really easy thing to do. It's just one more thing we can tick off our list, and that's all we need to do for cleanup right now. Now it's time for our third playthrough, this time on professional difficulty. But this time we have enough money to get us the infinite rocket launcher. Which is so freaking good. I love the infinite rocket launcher. I just want to use that weapon on everything. It's so fun. It's a rocket launcher. I just got... During this playthrough is where we also get the capacity compliance trophy for clearing the clock tower without having it stopping, which honestly, it's really easy with a giant rocket launcher that doesn't lose bullets. Now the reason we need to complete this playthrough is to not only earn us the Promising Agent, Proficient Agent and Peerless Agent trophies, but beating the game on professional difficulty also unlocks us Ashley's suit of armor, which makes our final playthrough much easier, and it also unlocks our last weapon, the Chicago Sweeper, which once equipped earns us the Gun Fanatic trophy for collecting all of the guns in Resident Evil 4. It's DLC time! Now the DLC follows Ada Wong's story that runs alongside the main game. Now in order to 100% the DLC, we need to complete 2 playthroughs, one on assisted and another on professional, and get the S+ ranking. So let's get into it. The DLC starts with Ada saving Luis from the cells in the castle. We find out that Ada was tasked with collecting the amber for Umbrella, of which of course Luis knows where to find it. But before he could take us to it, we're attacked by another one of Ramon Salazar's right hands. After beating him, we escape the castle and plan to meet back up with Luis. Along the way, noticing that Leon is in trouble, Ada decides to ring the church bell, attracting all of the villagers. Ada then continues her way through the village, eventually running into Leon again, and again saves him from Mendez. I'm learning that Leon is pretty useless without Ada. Ada then follows Luis's leftover clues and eventually finds his radio frequency. We contact him and agree to meet up by the big house outside the village. But before we can get there, Ada passes out and is saved by Albert Wesker.
Having a bad day.
And as it turns out, Ada is infected. So now we really need Luis, and we make our run to the big house. But before making it, we're attacked by a big muscular man, and because we're Ada freaking Wong, we kick his ass, like he literally stood no chance. And this earns us the Giant Slayer trophy. We finally catch back up with Luis and make our way to his laboratory, but upon arriving we learn it's all been burnt down. Thankfully Luis knows where there's more amber, and he also knows the ingredients we need to create the medicine. So Luis sets about finding the amber, whilst Ada gets the ingredients for the medicine. Once we catch back up, Ada begins to have a reaction to the amber, and Salazar's right hand arrives at this really awkward time, like it's just not convenient. So we tell Luis to run as Ada lures him away. We then fight so many buggy boys, and eventually the big buggy boy shows himself. Taking off his robe, he finally shows off his true form, which looks a lot like the U3 in the original game. Now, I never played the original Separate Ways DLC, so I don't actually know how much has changed from the original to the remake, but regardless, I really like this touch.
Can't stand the clingy type.
So we fight, eventually winning, and just when you think he's dead, it turns out he's not, and he's still got more bug in him, because everyone is bug. But not for long, because we're Ada freaking Wong, and with him defeated, we get the It Kept You Busy trophy. Aiden then races to meet back up with Luis, but receives a call from him saying he's dying and ordering us to help Leon. So we take Loverboy on a boat ride and then eventually abandon him because hey, we have other places to go and we're more important. So you go do your thing, Leon, I'm gonna go over here and do my thing. Ada now needs to make her way to the central security system. This is so that she can destroy the island, leaving no trace of the amber. And during this part of the game, we run into a lot of familiar locations that were cut from the main game, and it's really cool and it just makes much more sense being here. Ada is then chased by a new type of buggy boy, but after evading him, she sets up the island to explode.
Copy that. On it now.
So she begins to make her escape, and this is where we get the awesome laser trap, and this entire section and cutscene is so freaking awesome. Now all that's left is to collect the amber from Sadler. This is when we find Sadler torturing Leon, and we yet again save him and fight Sadler. Beating him, we earn the Had Enough of Preacher's trophy and also retrieve the amber, but before we're able to leave, we're knocked out. We wake up dangling from a rope, and Leon actually saves us once. He does something useful for Ada for once. And then to return the favor, we retrieve the red launcher, throwing it to Leon and ending Sadler's buggy life once and for all. And that is our first playthrough completed, and now all we need to do is complete it on professional difficulty within 2.5 hours. Now this is by far the hardest trophy just because of how overwhelming it gets at times. Now it's important to note that flashbangs are our best friends, saving in the correct place is really important, and the sniper rifle and treasures are super essential to completing this playthrough. The most annoying parts being the very beginning, as later on we can just one-shot bosses with the rocket launcher. But at the very start we have nothing, so the first 2 fights with the U3 are absolutely horrendous. But once we're past the factory fight, the rest is fairly straightforward and we're able to just run around a ton of enemies and avoid lots of fighting sequences, which is really good and really essential. But once we chuck that rocket launcher over to Leon, we have completed Separate Ways DLC within 2.5 hours, and we earn the Capable Operative, Skilled Agent, the Perfect Mission, and Ada the S+ Spy trophies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes! I did it! Which means we have now 100% completed the Separate Ways DLC. And honestly, it was brilliant. I really loved this DLC. I actually wasn't going to play it originally, but then I thought, you know what, I'm playing Resident Evil 4, I'm loving Resident Evil 4, and I'm so happy I picked this DLC up. It was so good. It's now time for our final playthrough, the S+ Professional Run. All we need to do is beat the game within 5.5 hours and only save 15 times on a new game save. Sounds simple, right? Who can mess that up? It's just 3 things. Just three things. Who could screw that up? I did. I screwed that up. Now to make this easier, remember we have Armored Ashley, we have the Gas Mask, and we also have the Magnum. So the game plan is to collect as many spinels along the way so that we can unlock the infinite Magnum later in the game. So the start of the game is all about being very strategic and using everything to our advantage. And it's pretty smooth sailing up until the house fight where I died over and over and over and over again. I died so many times here. I think I was here for about 4 hours. It didn't go well. And then shortly after that, the Mendez fight is really difficult because we can't one-shot him with the rocket launcher as we need the money to upgrade the Magnum later on, so we have to kill him the normal way, which is really easy when you have no ammo and your last save was about 4 hours ago. But eventually we beat Mendez and make our way to the castle where we have enough spinels to unlock the infinite Magnum.
You've got an eye for this, mate.
And boy does this playthrough get easy. Oh my god, this gun is so good. I love infinite weapons that just destroy things. It's so much fun. Now enemies can still pretty much one-shot you, so we do need to be careful, but it is a lot easier from here out. Now after blasting our way through everyone, flashbanging everything that moves, we reach the end game and launch a rocket launcher straight into Sadler's buggy boy face for the final time and ride our jet ski out of here. Or at least that's what I thought was going to happen. Except I messed up. So at some point I had saved 16 times, which would be fine except from the fact that I had been overriding all of my saves, and the last save that I saved on a different save slot was about 6 chapters ago, meaning that I had to play through 6 chapters of the game all over again. No, I saved over it! I'm back at the I'm an idiot. Fortunately, I still had the infinite Magnum, which was really handy and made the playthrough a lot easier, but again, I can't believe I saved over a save multiple times and almost lost an entire playthrough. But after playing through half the game again, we ride off into the sunset for hopefully the final time. Yes! Yes, we did it! Oh my god, mission accomplished! S+, and then I think we should get 2 more trophies, right? S rank, yep, S+ rank, investigator for beating the game on hardcore with S rank. And then we get the standard S rank. Oh no, that's a trophy! Yeah! Because boredom kills me! There it is, we finally 100% and platinumed Resident Evil 4, and we 100% in Separate Ways. Dude, this remake was so well done. Like, I really loved it. It was so good. And with that, we have platinumed Resident Evil 4 Remake, and we've 100%ed the Separate Ways DLC. This was a fantastic remake, and I've played RE4 so many times, and I can't believe that this still felt fresh and new, and I just absolutely loved playing this game. Altogether, RE4 Remake took me around 70 hours to 100%, and get the platinum trophy.
Come on. Let's go home.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe, and while you're still here, why don't you watch some more content? This video is great. You loved the one you just watched. You're gonna love this one, so you might as well watch it. Go on, give it a click. Give it a clicky click, and I'll see you over there. Yeah, click it and get out of here. Come on, this video's over. Go on, do it.